Good morning, kindergarten friends. My name is Mrs. Holmes, and I'm going to be your foundations teacher. In foundations, we're going to do a lot of fun things. We read stories, and we do activities, and we sing songs, and we learn about new things. So today, I want to talk about two words, and we're going to learn about those two words today. Those words are inside and outside. Inside and outside. And in foundations, we learn how to say words with our hands because sometimes that's helpful in trying to figure things out. So for inside, like this, it's like putting something in, right? You see that? Inside. And outside, outside, right? So today, while we're learning about those words, I want to do a few things. The first thing I want to do, this right here means first. The first thing I want to do is read a story. And in this story, there's a boy, and he's throwing some things into a tree. You'll see. And some of those things are things that he found outside, and some of those things are things that he found inside. So we're going to read that story. It's a very silly one. And then I want us to look at some pictures and decide if those are things that we would find inside or outside. Okay? And then we'll come back together, and we'll talk about those things. All right? Okay, this is the book I was just talking about. This is the book called Stuck. And here's the tree. And this is the boy who's in our story. His name is Floyd. And he's going to cause all sorts of trouble. So let's see what Floyd does. This book is by Oliver Jeffers. That's who wrote the words. All right, here we go. See, here's the tree. And here's Floyd. What's this thing that he has in the tree here? That's called a kite. Something that you fly on a windy day. It says, when Floyd's kite became stuck in a tree, he tried pulling and swinging, but it wouldn't come unstuck. So his kite got stuck in a tree. The trouble really began when he threw his favorite shoe to knock the kite loose. And that got stuck too. So his kite got stuck, and then he threw his shoe up there. Have you ever done that? Gotten something stuck and then you throw something at it hoping to get it unstuck? But it didn't work because, look, his shoe got stuck too. Oh, dear. Oh, dear Floyd. So far, we have a kite. Kites are fun things that we find mostly outside, right? Shoes, we wear those outside, but they're sometimes inside our house. They're kind of an inside-outside thing. Let's see what Floyd's going to do next. So he threw up his other shoe. He threw his other shoe up there to knock down his favorite one, and unbelievably, that got stuck too. And now, in order to knock the other shoe down, Floyd fetched Mitch. So now he's got two shoes and a kite in the tree, and he goes to get Mitch. Mitch is a cat. Do any of you have cats? Some cats live inside, and some cats live outside. If you have a cat, where does your cat live? So he goes to get Mitch, and I want you to be thinking in your head, what's he going to do with Mitch? How is Mitch going to help? It says, cats get stuck in trees all the time, but this was getting ridiculous. What did Floyd do? Floyd threw Mitch up into the tree. Oh, Floyd. Floyd fetched a ladder. He was going to sort this out once and for all. Now, ladders, again, can be sometimes inside and sometimes outside, depending. We keep our ladders in our garage, so they're kind of an outside thing. He's going to get his ladder, and I want you to be thinking in your head, what is he going to do with that ladder? You think he's going to climb up it to get something out of the tree? That would be the smart thing to do. Let's see what he does. And he threw it up into the tree. Was that the smart thing to do? I'm sure you can guess what happened. It got stuck. All the things are stuck in the tree. Oh dear. The ladder was borrowed from a neighbor and would definitely need to be put back before anyone noticed. And in order to do so, Floyd flung a bucket of paint at it. So he went and got some paint. And again, paint can be an inside or an outside thing. And he threw that at the ladder, and he's hoping to unstick the ladder. And wouldn't you know it, the bucket of paint got stuck. Then Floyd tried. He's going to try a whole bunch of things now, so try and keep up, okay? And we're going to talk about whether they're inside, outside things. A duck to knock down the bucket of paint. Ducks are usually an outside thing, right? A chair to knock down the duck. That looks like an inside chair. A friend's bicycle to knock down the chair. Bikes are outside things. The kitchen sink to knock down his friend's bicycle. Kitchen sinks are usually inside. Floyd's front door to knock down the kitchen and the sink. Now, a front door is what stands between the inside and the outside. The family car to knock down the front door. Floyd must be very strong. He threw the car up into the tree. Cars are outside things, huh? The milkman to knock down Floyd's family car. So milkmen, we don't really have milkmen around here. They need to come around and deliver milk in the morning. He threw the milkman in the tree. Oh dear. An orangutan to knock down the milkman, who surely had somewhere else to be. Orangutans are outside things. Where would Floyd have gotten an orangutan? Oh dear. A small boat to knock down the orangutan. Boats are outside things. A big boat to knock down the small boat. A rhinoceros to knock down the big boat. Outside. A long-distance truck to knock down the rhinoceros. That's an outside thing. A house across the street to knock down the long-distance truck. Outside. A lighthouse to knock down the house no longer across the street. Lighthouses sit on the shores. You may have seen one up by the lake. A curious whale in the wrong place at the wrong time to knock down the lighthouse. Here's Floyd. He's coming to get that whale. That's a lot of things. And as I said, Floyd is very strong. And they all got stuck. Look at the tree now. Before it seemed kind of empty, and now it seems kind of full. A fire engine was passing and heard all the commotion. The firemen stopped to see if they could help at all. So there are some firemen, and they've come. Now, Floyd has thrown a lot of things up into the tree. What do you think is going to happen with the firemen? So they come by and they say, "Can we help at all?" And it says, and up they went. First the engine, followed by the firemen, one by one. Floyd threw them into the tree. Oh, Floyd. Don't you think the firemen could have helped? They could have helped. Floyd's just not thinking. And there they stayed, stuck between the orangutan and one of the boats. Firemen would definitely be noticed missing, and Floyd knew he'd be in big trouble. He had an idea. He had an idea. And went to find a saw. Now, a saw is something that you use to cut wood, right? It's an outside thing. What do you think he's going to do with the saw? So first we should think, what should he do with the saw? Now, Floyd was thinking he might use the saw to cut down the tree, right? And then all of those things would become unstuck. Do you think that's what Floyd is going to do? He lined it up as best he could. Oh, this looks very promising, like he might cut down the tree. And he hurled it up into the tree. Hurled means to throw. He threw it into the tree, you guys. He did not cut it down. And that was it. There was no more room left in the tree, and the kite came unstuck. So he threw that saw up, and down came the kite. Well, that's good news. Floyd was delighted. He had forgotten all about his kite and put it to use immediately, enjoying the rest of his day very much. So he took his kite and he went and flew it. But I think he's forgetting something, don't you? So his kite came down, but what about all the other things that are up in the tree? That night, Floyd fell asleep, exhausted, though before he did, he could have sworn that he was forgetting something. So here's Floyd, and he's in his bed sleeping, and out here is the tree. Do you notice anything about that tree? I seem to see a whale tail sticking up out of it. What was Floyd forgetting? He was forgetting all the other things that were still stuck in the tree. Those inside and outside things. All right, thanks for joining me for my story. So I said the first thing we were going to do was read a story, and we finished that. So now I want to show you guys some pictures of some things, and I want you, while you're watching, to either say the word inside, outside, or use the signs. You can sign inside, outside, and decide whether the things you see are things that you would find inside or outside, okay? Let's look at those pictures. Outside, outside. Inside. Inside. Outside. Inside. Inside. Outside. How did you do? Were you able to sign inside and outside, or did you say the words? Did you get them all right? Now you can look around your room, and what are some things that you only use inside? Like bathrooms are usually only inside, and dining room tables are usually only inside. And what are some things that are always outside? Like cars are usually always outside. It would be weird to have a car inside our house, right? So look around and find things that are always inside and always outside. And I'll see you guys next week.